Hello, ladies and gentlemen. While I have you here, quick question. Do you remember One Stop 14th Amendment Audit Shop? You know, the guy who illegally parked his RV and got it towed, then called everyone up to the FBI to try to get it back? The one who was arrested for trying to place the owner of the tow company under false arrest? The one who thinks a legal doctrine that is intended to reduce costs of lawsuits that benefit the public allows him to sign his own arrest warrants? Ooh, he's still trying. He's still out there doing his thing, and I thought we should talk about it. But for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let me get you up to speed. One Stop was living in an RV, which was parked in a public parking lot of a business. The owner had him leave, and One Stop decided to park his RV on Halifax County Service Authority property, which is government property, which means it's public property. And in South Boston, and I quote, "No person shall park or cause or permit to be parked any motor passenger bus, recreational vehicle, camping, boating, or utility trailer, or other trailer or any truck with a carrying capacity of 1 ton or greater on any street or alley or other public place in the town between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 a.m." End quote. By One Stop's own admission, he was parked there overnight. So, illegally. He then tried to claim there was some enormous conspiracy against his rights, which is wrong, and proceeded to make terrible life choices, an apparent habit of his. We tried to explain why he was wrong, but his response was often something along the lines of, "Yeah, I packed it inside your mom." So why am I bringing up old news? Because One Stop is also bringing up old news, and he apparently hasn't learned. He uploaded footage of the incident in which the owner of the parking lot told him to go, and I wanted to talk about it. I also wanted to go through every single one of his TikTok videos with you guys in the stream, but that's a lot to deal with. So let me know in the comment section if you're interested in that. And with that out of the way, let me bring you back to the confrontation with the business owner that started this whole thing.
Notice of trespass from a person who got away with property damage.
So, for context, the guy who owns the parking lot put up a note on the RV being like, "Hey, you can't have this here. Get it out of here."
Did you leave this note?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Has the RV been in the parking lot for 2 weeks? Has One Stop not been to his RV in 2 weeks? There are a lot of questions that this raises, and One Stop, of course, answers exactly 0 of them. A lot of questions.
Call the police because I'd like to press charges for vandalism and destruction of property.
I've explained this to One Stop. Vandalism in the state of Virginia, which is where they are, requires intent. Now, the posting of a notice of trespass on the door of the RV does not have the intent to damage that property, regardless of any actual damage. It needs to go to civil court where One Stop can go, "Your Honor, he damaged my property. It cost this much to fix. I need that money." That's a civil issue, not a criminal one. This has been explained to One Stop many, many times, but he has exactly 0 understanding of the fact that civil and criminal are different things. I don't think he even acknowledges that civil stuff is a thing. It doesn't make sense. He pretends to understand. He has no idea what he's doing.
Been waiting to get a verbal agreement, and you left this note signing it. Thanks.
Hold on a second.
So he's been waiting for this guy to confirm that he was the one that put the note on there.
By here multiple times to catch you.
When'd you try to be nice?
I've been by here a half a dozen times.
But
6 attempts were made to contact One Stop, apparently. So it seems reasonable that you'd put up a note to be like, "Hey, we've been trying to reach you about your RV's extended stay in our parking lot. I don't see a problem with this. If there's damage, take it to civil court."
this is our first encounter, and I'm
Yeah, but
so
why are you
glad
talking to me like this? You own my property.
because I had got you admitting guilt for destroying the plexiglass and the seal on my door.
This is another really fun thing. And I'm pretty sure the police said something about this when they arrived after this, because we've seen the video on this channel, and you can go to One Stop's channel and see it yourself. He's posted the video of this incident when the police were there. I've never seen this, though. But the piece of paper, I believe, was put on the door with duct tape. And if One Stop failed to exercise the proper care to remove it without damaging his vehicle, that's kind of on him. Duct tape isn't some incredibly damaging substance. And if it wasn't put there with the intent to do damage, he's not really going to get much out of this as far as criminal charges go. And in fact, he didn't, because they got the police there, and the police were like, "Well, he told you to leave, so go." This is a civil issue. A lot of police actually told him that. They were like, well, there was more than one there. And they all explained it to him. But, One Stop can never be wrong because he spent exactly, I don't know, probably 5 minutes looking up laws once 10 years ago. This is all speculation. I actually have no idea how long he spent. But it's not enough. I can tell you that right now.
Look, you want to be nice.
I didn't come around and vandalize your property, sir.
No, you were just trespassing, kinda, which is a different crime. And once again, in the state of Virginia, unless I am mistaken, it's been a while since I looked because I covered this guy ages ago, vandalism requires intent. And from this, I can't figure out that there was intent. There's nothing to indicate to me that there was intent. So unless One Stop reads minds, but I wouldn't be surprised that he hears voices at the very least. He doesn't have intent established here.
Hey, I've been about half a dozen times trying to catch you.
And that's how you want to catch me? You caught me.
You want to talk to me decently, you need to call somebody to come tow your truck, because you trespassed.
Excuse me?
Police came
This is
yesterday
public
trying-
access on private property.
That's still private property. It's just open to the public, but they still get to dictate how it's used. It's private property that is open to the public for a specific purpose, and rules can be enforced, usually through trespass laws. Wow. Despite all the explanations I've given him, he still is taking none of it, which explains, I think, a lot of his problems, that he refuses to actually get correct information. And even when he gets correct information, he refuses to apply it.
It's a new sign.
Been out a week.
You put that up
You've been
recently.
caught till a week after this.
I don't observe the signs
Okay.
because I'm protesting Food Line right now. They've been overcharging me.
So there's a sign that probably says, don't park RVs here. And One Stop's like, I left before that sign went up. And then the guy's like, well, I put that sign up. And then you came back and kept doing this. And then One Stop's like, oh, well, you got me. Except, no, of course he didn't say that. He says, oh, well, I don't care, even though I was originally, basing my argument on this because this is a protest. Well, fun fact, dude, a protest does not give you the right to trespass. Shocking how that works. You don't have a right to protest on private property. In fact, you don't have an unlimited right to protest anywhere. There are traditional public forums or non-public forums. There are a lot of different forums. He doesn't, look, we're going to find out later. He has absolutely no idea how a public forum works. Oh, but I've explained it to him. I'm not going to explain it in this video. The takeaway here is he doesn't understand the law, but he pretends to, and it gets him in a lot of trouble. Just like it would seem everyone else we talk about on this channel. Also, overcharging you? Food Line's overcharging you? Do you check your receipt? Are you unhappy about their prices? Bruh. It's a private company. They can decide what their prices are. What are you talking about?
You can't go on my property and protest nothing.
The Supreme Court ruled in the Pruneyard decision I can.
Okay, Pruneyard decision. Let's find out what that is. The case that One Stop is referring to is Pruneyard Shopping Center versus Robbins, in which several students were conducting some petitioning, and then the shopping center is like, you can't do that, we don't want that. Now, the Supreme Court of California did state that, hey, hold on a second, we think that they should be allowed to actually do that, and then the Supreme Court of the country got involved and said, oh yeah, no, California can make that decision. They didn't say that, oh yes, you can go protest on private property as much as you want. No, they said, oh, well, if California says you can do it, yeah, they can interpret their own constitution to do that because California has a state constitution, and the Supreme Court of California made the decision that, hey, our state constitution actually allows this kind of activity, and so because this is in our state, we can make this decision. The Supreme Court rules on the federal constitution, and they said, yeah, there's nothing in the federal constitution that says the state can't refer to its own constitution to make decisions. That's what Pruneyard was about, the ruling of I'm getting mad at him for being dumb again. To summarize, the Supreme Court said that, yes, California can make this decision. One Stop and his protest, of which I doubt it's a protest. I think he's just homeless and living there because it's convenient. His protest is happening in Virginia. Now, you may recognize that Virginia and California are two different states. So, sorry, One Stop. You lose again.
It don't work like that. I'm sorry.
Well, you're going to have to
Did
call
you
the
read-
police.
Did you read? They came yesterday, but they couldn't find
I'm
it.
going to press charges against you for vandalism and destruction of property for
Did you
destroying my
read
plexiglass.
Did you read that note?
It was a prank, in my opinion, because nobody signed it.
He thought it was a prank because no one signed it. Okay, that's kind of fun. But he's not actually like super incorrect there. To be trespassed, the owner or someone with the authority to issue trespass notices for that property would have to be the one to trespass him. And you could look at that note and say, well, there's no name on it. How do I know this was issued by someone with an authority? That's not a bad argument. It's not the argument that One Stop is making. It is the argument that he should make. And if he was as studied in the law as he claims, it would be the argument he would make. But he's obviously not making it because he doesn't know anything about law. But I digress.
Thank you is not a
I don't have
signature.
time for a prank. I don't know what world you live in.
I don't have time to answer the notes where
But
individuals
that
don't
note
sign
was-
to them.
I feel like he has nothing but time to do that. What do you have going on in your life, One Stop? You don't work, right? Like you just live in an RV on private property. What do you do during the day? Am I wrong?
I could have took it as a prank from some individual here, any individual. Why are you also singling me out?
Because I'm getting complaints.
From what?
You are trespassing. You don't have permission to park here.
How am
Why you go to an RV
How am I being singled out though? You have not tended to the other cars that are abandoned.
The other cars? Maybe the fact that they're cars and not an RV that a grown man is living in? I feel like that's a pretty good reason to single that out.
Or anybody else living or dwelling in their vehicle.
Nobody's dwelling on my property.
Yes, they are, sir.
Sure they are, because you, One Stop, are known for your accurate statements. I jest.
You gonna move, or do I have to tell you?
I want you to call the police right now.
They came yesterday. They couldn't find.
Well, let's let them find me right now because I want charges pressed on you for vandalism and destruction of my property. You
Hold
vandalized my door.
Hold on.
I'm not going anywhere, sir.
Will this run?
And that's it. That is the end of it. And let me tell you, they do call the cops. The cops do arrive, and they do say, you gotta go, dude. You gotta get out of here. You can't be in this parking lot. Oh, by the way, this is a civil issue, your complaint about the damage to your vehicle, not a criminal one. And they were correct. It was not a criminal one. It was civil. But One Stop thinks that this is part of the incredible conspiracy against his rights. Wow. There's a reason I like to sort of pop back in to see how he's doing. Because it's always a train wreck. Always. He could do some very basic things to get his life back on track. But he doesn't. Yeah, you know. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. So if you like this video, there is a like button. I would really appreciate if you hit it. There's also a dislike button. Hey, I'm not going to hold it against you. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. It's fine. All right? You can do you. It's fine. I don't care. It's not like I put a lot of work into this. You know what? No. Also, subscribe button somewhere around there. If you want more of this nonsense, it's pretty close by. You should be able to find it. If you want to. No pressure. Also, speaking of no pressure, I have a Patreon down there in the description. I put the script for this video up there before I made this video. And that's generally what I do, is I'll just throw up scripts for stuff that I may make in the future, may not. You get some insight into the machinations of my insane mind. Not like insane. See, now I'm this is what I'm talking about, just the rambling. Just what is even, like, how many hamsters you got bouncing around in there? It's weird. It's weird. There's also an Etsy page. I got some shirts that I designed. I got some other merchandise based on some other shenanigans we've done on this channel. If you like it, feel free to check it out. If you want to buy something, I'm not going to say no. It's up to you, though. No pressure. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, be good, stay safe.